Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Cang-Toys CY-MINI05 Thormini. They're a new member for the Predacons. And we'll go ahead and put them off real quick. With the box, which yep, is very similar to the other boxes. You got CY-MINI05 and name, all that stuff, and some product shots, ages 15 and up for not for children. The logo of the company. On the top here, you have some copyrights and warnings and barcodes and QR codes and all that stuff. On the bottom you have, well, CY-MINI05 and Thormini. You have the same thing there, and on the back you have, again, product shots and whatnot, and a little holographic sticker, and yep, and of course, again, opens up like this, and foam, and yeah, there's that code again. Yep. And you have the instructions, which are mostly fine. There's a couple spots I was like, there's actually one thing about this toy in particular I'm not kind of annoyed by, but there's that. I also think there's a couple of parts of instructions actually literally show the wrong thing, but hey, it's not too difficult to figure out. And you get this once again for, you know, I believe it's that weird contest thing, and it's only useful if you live in China. So, there you go. Anyway, Thormini. Thormini here is a bit different from the rest of the Predacons because, well, one thing, he's brand new, and two, he's coloration is a bit different because of what he has to do for, well, Predaking. Yeah, looking at him up close, he's got a nice head. It's got this, you know, kind of the mask thing. Got red eyes, little red jewel thing or whatever on his crest. Got some nice bits of gold and again some really nice tampos. Got a little red thing there. Got mostly kind of this very dark gunmetal-ish gray and the gold and with gold and red highlights pretty much. And some bits of white and silver, I guess. Got all that. It looks real nice. Again, some nice tempos on 05 there on the legs, and yeah, he's got a bit of a backpack, but you know, it's not a huge problem really. So you can stylize a bit. And of course, yeah, you can see some extra hands if you yeah, that bothers you. Yeah. Yeah, so he's pretty good looking. He's just kind of different looking. He's got a very different color palette. In fact, he's almost kind of got the same color palette as, say, I don't know, Optimus Primal, which is interesting in its own right. Yeah, he also has some weapons, which is now making more clear how the weapons go together. They got this, I don't know, it looks like a trident with a saw blade, I guess. And you can stick that in his hand, although it's once again, all these, it kind of goes in a little too securely. I'm a little worried about that over time. And you got this gun, which again, mostly gray, some gold and silver. Got a quad-barreled thing. This looks pretty good, though. Yeah, I'm not going to combine the weapons. Yeah, I'm going to wait till on camera at least. I'm going to wait till all of them are out because I want to guess make it a big moment, I guess, or something. But yeah, looks pretty good. You know, holding these. Yeah, I don't know. You can hold it like this on this one, or hold it like that, however you want. But yeah, it's just kind of it's almost the way it's shaped. It's almost like a club, if anything. Very spiky club, but still a club. But, you know, you got all that. I'm just going to get these out of his hands, though, because I'm going to do some posability. Yeah, again, it goes in there real good. This one's a little easier to get out. But, yeah, posability. Head is all real nice ball joints. You got up and down, and you got left and right. Depending on how you have it sit. You also have the hinge it's on for transformation, so you can adjust it forward and back. You also, but you got tons of waggle. It's very expressive. Shoulders, these little shoulder bits right here, the shoulder armor, they do get out of the way, although shows the shoulders actually kind of lower than you think they would be. But they are on ball joints, so you got full rotation there. You got outward. These, you know, are on stalks, and you know, there's a little hinge and a ball joint. So you can move those as well. There's a hinge here and a hinge here and another hinge. There's multiple hinges there, so you can adjust how those look, how you want. There is a bicep swivel. This is kind of tight, but there's a bicep swivel right there. The elbow joint, there's dual elbows, so it's got full curl. It's caught on itself. There you go. Down here at the hands, you do have a wrist swivel, which is nice. The waist can swivel. It kind of bangs itself. You got to get this out of the way a bit, and then the waist swivel is just fine. Not the end of the world, you know, they have to move that, just one hinge, so, you know. But he does have a nice waist swivel. He does not have an ab crunch because the way he's transforms and everything, I don't think there's enough room for an ab crunch, not without making severely compromised figure or fragile figure. Got hip skirts though, get out of the way. You do have forward that far and back that far, and that just came undone because of how tight everything is. Again, notice that Cang-Toys likes to really tighten their stuff a little too much. You do have a thigh swivel. Oh yeah, and it's outward. It's a little weird because it's for transformation, so it's outward. It gets a little weird looking because that has to be that way for the transformation for combined mode. Knees, you pretty much only get that much unless you are able to unclip that. Then you get like that much. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but you have to untab this part to get it to do that. So just an FYI on that. Otherwise, you're pretty limited. And down here at the feet, you do have ankle tilts, which there's actually two. There's kind of a weird thing. There's this hinge which is on, which also tabs in. So there's that you can tilt. You can also tilt just the foot under the hinge, if you like. If you don't want to have the broken sculpting the sculpt there. Also, because of that, that is, I believe, a ball joint. So you also have a bit of side to side, but the sculpt gets in the way. A bit forward and back, but sculpt gets in the way. You do have a toe joint, so there's that. You can also use the gorilla toes for posability stuff if you really need those. There you go. Pretty good looking robot, but yeah, it's a pretty good looking robot. It's just kind of got a weird color scheme compared to the others because just his nature, he has to be the pants. So well, he's going to have a bit of a different color scheme than most of the Predacons. So he kind of stands out. And on top of that, he is a brand new character that, he's a 6th member, I guess, on the Legends class. But yeah, he's one of 5 new members, technically, if you want to get into the thing about the Masterpiece scale version. But yeah. So he's a 6th member, but he looks good. I do like how he looks overall. But comparisons real quick. I'm going to try to get the whole team in here. So here's Thormini, who's not standing quite properly. Land-Mini and Ry-Mini. That's the 4 so far. We're 2/3 of the way there. Looking pretty good together. Okay, so transformation. The gorilla mode. First thing is you want to go ahead and get this untabbed back here. Bring that back, and then there's like multiple sliders right here. This is on a slide. There's like multiple sliders. Like this is on a slider. You want to slide it back and then hinge it down, and that'll give you enough room, hopefully, to get the gorilla head out. It can be very stubborn on mine, I noticed. Of course, let me say, it's a stubborn one. It's, of course, and the one's the worst possible timing. If you don't want to move around, then of course move around, no problem. Yeah, get the gorilla head out and rotate that around right there. Get the robot head and turn it 180 and just kind of flip it back right here like that, and just kind of get that to where the gorilla head was, and then just bring that up and tab that back in. It's kind of these tabs are kind of weird. Sometimes not like to stay tabbed in. Again, particularly in gorilla mode. Yeah, just get that all taken care of. Right here, we want to do is open up these panels right here on the forearms, which again, there's nothing really to. There's a little bit right there to get your grip on. Rotate them in, close that up, bring the gorilla fists around. Just kind of tab in right there. And then rotate here at the bicep so they're facing like this, and then rotate the fist like that. Go ahead and open the fist a little bit. Like that. Kind of a gorilla thing. And then the gorilla head right there you want to bring up as well, and then bring these forward like so. Same thing. Open this up, rotate the fist in, close that up, bring the gorilla fist around, tab it in, like so, rotate this at the bicep like that, and then rotate the gorilla fist like that, and then bring out the knuckles a little bit, if you like, and then bring it forward like that on the shoulder joint. Now here you want to go ahead and bring these hip skirts, you want to bring those forward, and then bring this back and out of the way, and then, of course, retab those in because they came undone, and then rotate the waist around 180, like so. And sometimes the hip skirts get caught a little bit like that, but it's not too difficult to fix. Keep those up and out of the way. Now, here at the legs, what you want to do here is then rotate the legs at the thighs 180, like so. And right here, you bring these out and about, and then you bring bring these out so you can then spin them around like this, the feet, and then take the toe and fold it up like that. You know, tab that all back in and then rotate the toes out. Same thing here. Rotate this 180 like that. Flip the toe up like that, and then flip the toes, gorilla toes out like that. Like so. Now here, what you want to do is untab this and untab that, and bring this forward. This will now, these tabs right here and right here will go into the little notches right here on the hip. So you also want to bring the hips back a little bit as well, like that. So you have room for this. Bring that up and just tab that into that notch, like that. Same thing here. Bring the hip back, and then bring this forward and tab those into the notches on the hip. Go ahead and bring these down a little bit. Bring this forward, because this right here, again, this backpack piece does not like to stay clipped, tabbed in for some reason in gorilla mode. It's just gorilla mode, and robot mode is fine, but here in gorilla mode, oh no. How you thought. Yeah, it doesn't have to be that far back. It's going to be, there we go, like that. And then these bits right here, these little bits right here, you want to go ahead and just kind of bring up like this, and they'll just kind of rest in place right there, like that. Make it to fine adjustments as you want, and there you go. There is Thormini in gorilla mode. Yep, it's a gorilla looking guy. I mean, gorilla, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, it's kind of a thing, which is when a transformer trying to transform into something else, it's also bipedal. It's like the transformation always winds up being kind of, I mean, it's not a bad transformation. It's actually pretty clever in many ways, but yeah, it's a gorilla. You can see, you know, again, now the gorilla face is silver and kind of yeah, and it's got red eyes, and again, the red jewel thing. You got bigger gorilla fists. Same shoulder pads, same backpack. The legs are a little shifted around, but they're basically the same looking. But yeah. The big things here, and I'm going to flatten those down. But yeah. Looks good, actually, for the most part. The only thing is the head is kind of weird just because of how much it can actually angle before it kind of looks bad. I mean, theoretically, it should be able to angle farther on the ball joint, but it just doesn't. Yeah. So it looks pretty good. You can do some more stuff with the shoulder. I like to kind of adjust the shoulders a bit just to make things a little different, you know. Makes things a little bit different at least. But yeah, you don't have to, but yeah, it's just something you can do. Yeah, so the shoulder is pretty much the same. The head is also on a ball joint, so you got left and right and up and down. Although up is limited to that, which is weird when you think about it. Yeah, but you got left and right and up and down and waggle and all that stuff. Shoulders, biceps, and all that stuff pretty much the same. You got, you know, arms pretty much the same. The fists, you know, a little different. They still got wrist rotation. These new fists. You have a thumb. The thumb is on a ball joint and a hinge right there. So you got twist and rotation. You know, twist, rotation, and hinges and all that stuff. All the knuckles are on a single hinge right there. The waist is pretty much, you're not going to be able to get much out of it. It's pretty much not going anywhere. Legs are also kind of, yeah, there's kind of limitations now on the legs. You can't really, you can move them forward a little bit and back a little bit, but really not a whole lot. And again, some of it's a bit tighter than it should be. And again, the legs are now kind of locked into place. The knees are locked into place, and down to the feet, you still have, the tilts are now going back. These hinge tilts, the hinges are now go outwards. So you only have the ball joint for tilting, which is not a whole lot. You can't really rotate because everything bangs into each other. You can move the toes up and down, but yeah. So yeah, posability is, some of it's the same, but some of it's very limited now. So you got, you know, things you got, you know, sacrifices are made, but you know, it's still good looking. It's just, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like once you get into the alt mode, it's very limited what you can actually do with it. It's not the end of the world, but, you know, might disappoint some people. And as far as I can tell, he can't really hold his weapons in this mode. Not really. The fists are too big. You can kind of, I think, somewhat, I'm just going to test this real quick. But yeah, you can somewhat, if I can get this rotated, grasp them, but like not very well. There is a channel there. I can see that. But it's not He's not very good at actually holding the weapons. There is somewhat of a channel there, though. If we can just... So you can't hold it. It's just not as secure, but there is technically ability to hold the weapons. Just not a very good ability. Again, on mine, I don't know what it is, but once you get in the gorilla mode, the backpack does not like to stay attached. And I don't know if I'm just doing something wrong or what. Or it wants to attach crooked. It doesn't want to stay attached very much, and it's a little frustrating that. But other than that, it's a pretty neat looking gorilla. Yeah, real quick comparisons again. Here's Thormini. Here's Land-Mini. And here's CY-MINI. Again, color scheme's pretty different, but yeah, still matches with the team. It's gonna, I think it's gonna look real good once they have a whole combined thing. But yeah, you get that whole thing. He's a bit broader than like these two, but you know, there you go. Now, of course, we got to take him to combined mode, and that's a lot more difficult than getting him to gorilla for sure. A lot more difficult. Not that much more difficult. I feel like instructions kind of make it more difficult than it needs to be, but yeah, there you go. Anyway, first thing, I'm going to go ahead and curl these feet back in like that, just to get that done out of the way. Take the fists and make sure to, yeah, get them all situated properly, you know, closing up the knuckles and everything. So that's all taken care of. Now, right here, you want to go ahead and bring this out, you know, get that back undone, and then get under the arms. Bring the arms out. So right in here, see this? You want to take that flap and move that forward. Move that forward like there. It's getting caught on the arms right now. Yeah, move that forward and then untab the chest plate. Whole chest plate will come untabbed, and then that will bring the head out a little bit. Now this, you want to go ahead and get the head the rest of the way rotated into there like that. Like that. And then there's a mushroom peg. You want to rotate this. On mine, it likes to unclip itself before it rotates, because that is very tight. Yeah, rotate the 180 and let's cleave it like that as now, for now. Now the arms here, now that they're undone, you want to go ahead and just kind of move them out like that on those armatures. Just kind of get them move out and out of the way. Take the gorilla head here and then take this and rotate it 180 degrees, and then just go ahead and collapse it back into its place if it can. It's supposed to be able to at this point. Again, it's like fighting me. It always fights me. That collapsed in. There we go. Get the gorilla head collapsed in. Just kind of leave that for now. Now over here, let's see at the legs here. We're going ahead down now. You come down here and untab these from their little bits and get these out of the way right now. And then straighten the legs back out like so. Now also take the waist here, straighten the legs out, and take the waist here and rotate it. And get these waist flaps back, like this, so you can rotate the waist 180 to get. Yeah, see that clip likes to come undone really easy on mine now. Take that waist and rotate it 180 again, like that. Right. Now bring those back down, and then take the hips. Now bring them out, and then go ahead and bring them up like this, and then rotate them out like that. You see that widens the hips a bit, and that is for the sake of the combined mode. Get those all widened out like so. I'll go ahead and rotate them at the thighs again, underneath like that. Now, I'm going to kind of sink the legs in and then kind of tab that in like that. This will tab in, and this part right here, this will come up and tab into the back of the leg to help lock it so that the knees don't bend. You don't want the knees bending, that helps lock it in place. Yeah, you want to bring this back down. See, this one's a little stubborn. Right there, those slots right there, you want to get this tab back into that slot, which can be a bit stubborn about it. But yeah, get that tab back in, and then bring this up, and this again will tab into right here, like that, and that will help lock the legs in, like so. And then right here, you want to take the toe, bring it down, and slide it back, bring it out on this hinge, and take this toe right here, bring it down, slide it back, and bring it out on this hinge. Right here, you want to go ahead and push up from this. Yeah, bring it out like this. And then right here, you want to push this up from here. It's easiest to push rather than pull, at least initially. To push that up. So you can get finger in there and then bring it out the rest of the way. This is a fairly tight hinge right here. Bring that all the way around like that. Once you do that, you can go ahead and then take this and rotate this up. And this right here will go over this tab like so, like that. Same thing on this side. Push it up from the bottom. Bring it out the rest of the way. Bring this all the way around like that, and then go ahead and take this and rotate that up, and then tab it into the side like that. So that's the legs done. Now, the rest of this. And bring these all the way out to the side like this. And this right here, you want to go ahead and bring these out in such a way. You want to untab these if they haven't done so, and bring them out, and then extend those down. Rotate them around like this, like that, and then extend this flap down like so. Now back here, what you want to do is, okay, make sure these are down like this. Now here, right here, there's a little rotation joint right here. You want to rotate the arm back like this. Now this right here, you want to go ahead and take the fist here and rotate like that and bring it back in, and it'll tab itself back in like that. Rotate it at the bicep that way and bring it out, and then close it up like this. This will tab in like that. It'll sit like that. Right? Same thing. Bring it back on that little hinge. And again, bring this up. Rotate the fist. Bring that up. And then rotate it. And then bring it in, and it'll just tab into itself like that. So tab into itself like that. There you go, tab that in. And then right here, you'll see these are on sliders, and you want to go ahead and then slide these. You want to kind of extend the hip skirts out a bit like that. These have now become the hip skirts. You want to extend those out. So kind of come down like this. Yeah, bring them like this, and then this will slide in. Slide it in, yeah, bring them down and slide it in like that, and this will come up right here, look like that, more or less. Actually, I don't think we fully extend them out. Just gonna collapse that up for now. Yeah, there we go, like that. Yeah, fully extend that. Yeah, see this part? Yeah, this will go underneath like so. And then slide that in like that. You gotta go ahead and make sure nothing's caught on anything and bring it down. These will sit like this. This, it kind of implies you're supposed to tab it in, but this really doesn't tab in. These tabs don't really tab anyway. They just kind of rest in these little recesses right here, like so. It's not going to tab in. It's not going to be solid. It's going to just rest there like that at an angle. And then you take this bit right here, and there's this slider right here. This will slide in. There's a little like hook right here on the slider, which will go behind right here. That'll help lock the skirt into place. You can see, hopefully, this will kind of make sure it's all clicked away. Now click down like that, and do some fine tuning. And yep, there you go. That is the combine mode. Yeah, it's the thighs and hips for the combine mode. They rather than doing a lot of them do, which is this would just be a random just one piece that just kind of sits off to the side. They made it a whole robot, and that's the cool thing. And yeah, again, the transformation is not too bad. I feel it's one of those things where it's like some of it's just like trying to remember which way the arms are oriented in the this way. Because like it's hard to, because there's tabs on both sides of the shoulder, so it's like it's sometimes difficult to remember which is which. Almost to the point I want to snip off the tab, but I suspect that might be useful for something, so I'm just going to wait on that. Yeah, overall, looks pretty good. Obviously, it's gonna, posability is gonna be a thing. Not sure how well this is gonna pose considering everything's kind of really close together, but we'll see. Yeah, I can confirm. Also, I'm not going to do it on camera right now. I'm going to wait. Again, we're going to wait till the final combined bow. I can confirm right now it's really easy to attach the legs. Really easy. Literally just slides on right there. I'm not sure how obviously this is going to be for the whatever the razor claw. Their razor claw is going to be, yeah, he's going to obviously go over here right like that. But like, just say it looks pretty good. One thing is I'm a little worried about this. It's like getting the hip skirts, like particularly because they're banging into the feet. Can be a little weird, but I'll figure it out. You know, not a huge deal. Just to just get those squared away. Yeah, I'll figure that out later when full figure when we have the full combined mode. But yeah. This is the weird thing. Is just this is just a butt flap that like doesn't really peg. It doesn't peg into anything. It just kind of rests there, which is, I think some people might be bothered by that. It doesn't bother me that much because it does kind of rest there solidly. It's not like it's going to go anywhere. But that's a thing. There's again the clever tricks of the hips. Just doing what they do is actually pretty clever. It does compromise the hip articulation a little bit in the robot mode, but I'm okay with that for the combined. If it's for the sake of the combined mode. Yeah, overall, it locks together. Like a lot of this stuff locks together pretty solidly for the most part. Again, this part really, in these kind of don't, but like that kind of needs to move. So, yeah, it's clever. It's clever that they basically made a sixth robot to, fulfill rather than just having a pants former. They like, all right, we'll just make another robot. And also all this stuff right now, all this how this all locks together to prevent the legs from bending too much is really nice too. So you have some more solid thighs rather than something that bends itself out of shape whenever you try to move anything. Although I'm pretty sure going off personal experience, you're probably going to make sure you don't want to hold these when it comes down the line. You're going to want to hold all that together so it actually stays together. But yeah, there you go. That's the combined mode. And that's Thormini. Thormini is decent. Or not say, decent is a little negative. He's pretty good. I'm just gonna lay him there. He's actually got a pretty simple alt mode transformation, which is, I've noticed, it's kind of the reverse of like the other like Land Mini and Rhyme Mini, which they have a fairly more complex transformation to combined mode or to alt mode, and then their combined mode transformations are fairly simple. He's the other way around. He's got a fairly simple alt mode transformation with a fairly complex, somewhat more complex combined mode transformation. I really like the robot mode. Colors don't, it's weird because the colors do match, but they don't match. He stands out because he's not primarily like yellow or red or orange. He's primarily, more of a gray color. So he kind of stands out for that. But he still kind of matches with the rest of them because his extra color, the golds and silvers and reds do match the rest of the team. It's just different proportions. So he's got a good robot mode. Alt mode is fine. I feel like there's a lot about it. It feels like it was very much, it doesn't feel as good. Like I don't like how the gorilla head sits. I wish it sat a little better. It doesn't on mine. So there's that. It's also the posability is just kind of completely gone, almost completely gone when you're in combined mode or alt mode. But combined mode looks good, but it's just kind of a bits of legs and hips. So like, and waist, I guess, but like, yeah, it's going to work pretty well. I think this is a pretty good solution to the whole, okay, how do we make the individual robots proportionate and also have a proportionate combined mode, which is just to add a sixth robot. Not a bad idea. Some people are going to poo-poo on it because it's not pure, I guess. The set was already kind of, chuck G1 aesthetics out the window. So it's like, this is not for people who are G1 purists regardless. So, I applaud them for doing this. It's just, adding a sixth robot. Yeah, crank up the price a bit, but you get a sixth robot. So, trade-offs. It's a good toy. I think overall still, Rhyme Mini is my favorite still. This one has a couple little just things about it. I'm not super thrilled with, again, alt mode. But Rhyme Mini, I think, is still my favorite overall. This one is, it kind of was at the weird initial new toy, and then the problems, and I'm back to, he's still good. $60 domestic, a little bit cheaper if you get them from like Shozy or whatever. Not much though. These ones, it's like, I think it's like you're down like 45 versus 60 or something like that. So there you go on that. I mean, total. I think he's worth picking up, but he's not so far. He's not the strongest of the set, but he's also not the weakest so far. Again, we still have 2 more. So there's my babbling. He's a good toy. Pick him up. So that's it for this review. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social media. It's in the description and in the end of the video. And check out my Patreon and my Coffee. And I shall see you next time with another video review.